Hi everyone, welcome to Mission Stitch. My name is Emmy and this is my Flosstube channel about cross stitch. This is a super special Flosstube because it is my 1 year anniversary. I have been making Flosstubes for 1 year. That is crazy to me. It does not feel like it's been a year since I started this. But it is. I mean, I started September 1st. It's September 1st, and here we are. And so it's been an interesting journey, a great one. Honestly, it's been so great. And I'm so grateful for the people that I've met through the Flosstube. And I'm so grateful for your comments and your love and your support. And it's just been a really great experience for me. So happy 1 year anniversary. I have lots of really fun stuff to show you today. I usually do, right? I try not to be boring. Let me think, a little bit of life. So I'm getting ready to go back to work. That's kind of a bummer because it means it cuts down on my stitching time, but that's fine. I'm still doing projects in the basement. They're creeping forward. I like to do them by myself without any help because that's just kind of a stress reliever and very meditative for me to work on these projects. Anything from wallpapering and painting to building furniture to cutting and nailing wood and screwing things together. There's something in my soul that craves that kind of creativity. And I think it's the active part of it because I have to be up and active and moving. Not that stitching doesn't do that, but stitching is much slower, much more low key. Whereas all of my projects, my DIY home improvement projects, are up and working my body physically. And so it's been really, really fun, really good for me and my soul to be doing those. I will share pictures when things get closer. They're coming along. I still have a little ways, but they're coming together beautifully. My oldest daughter turned 22 and then a couple of days later went back to school in Hawaii. She goes to school in Hawaii. She's got only a little over a year left, and so she's super excited. She's got a countdown already. I think it was like 487 days or something. I don't know. Anyway, so she's a little bit excited to say the least. Oh, here's some super fun news that some of you, those of you who follow me on Instagram may have seen. So my daughter, my second daughter, who is in Florida working at Disney World, she got a special role, and I really can't say much about it, but she is friends with a princess, and I'll put a picture here. And that's been a dream of hers for so long, and she has done, oh my goodness, Disney auditions are no joke. They're pretty intense, and so she's done several auditions and just had to jump through some hoops, and it's been a lot of heartache and a lot of hard work, and she reached her goal. So this picture is one of her friends, and then she has some other friends. I'll pop those pictures here. Disney bases those on height, and so her height dictates the characters that she can be, and so, or the characters she can be friends with. So those are some of them. So if you are taking a trip to Walt Disney World in Florida, message me and let me know, and I'll see if I can find out her schedule to so that you can meet some of her character friends. My son is back to school. He's in 8th grade and doing really well. He's starting soccer this weekend, starting back to piano lessons in a couple of weeks. And so he's back into his super busy routine, which has been really good. My husband's working and doing great. Anyways, we're all just healthy and safe, which is honestly the most important thing. Those are the things that I wish for everyone, is just health and safety, because if you have those, then you can pretty much get through anything. So I'm so grateful for those two blessings in our lives. We went to Florida for a quick weekend. Saw my daughter, went to the Halloween party at Walt Disney World, to celebrate my other daughter's birthday. And it was just a real quick trip, but we had a lot of fun. But I have an interesting story that I'll tell you as I show you my whips and stuff and my new starts. So let me do that. Okay, first I'm going to share with you a new start that I forgot to share last time. I started this when I was in Vegas and totally forgot to share it with you. So I started Summer Quaker by Lila Studios. The Huga Stitchers began a stitch along in the beginning of August with this, and so I had the pattern and decided to jump on. So it's just a little start, not very much, but oh, these colors are so pretty and the motifs are beautiful. So this is a 40 count Ocean Sand by Atomic Ranch Fabrics. It's just this really pretty pale blue with a little bit of tan mixed in for the sand. So I thought how appropriate for the Summer Quaker. So this is that top corner. Other side, let's switch. So, so right here you can kind of see. So I got it started. It's really pretty. I probably will not pick this up, gosh, probably for a while, probably till next summer, but I really love it already, how it's turning out. All right. You guys know I'm all about the new starts on the plane and on my trips. So I had a new start. We got to the airport, plenty of time, went to our gate, sat down and waited. So I started this. This is Queen Bee by Frog Cottage Designs, right? Yes. And this was just a fun quick stitch. Now the reason I did this one, I do like the design, but I had this floss that I got from a mystery pack from Live and Dye LA. They do self-floss and fabrics. The owner, Valerie, is super sweet. I met her at a retreat and bought a whole bunch of her stuff, and they're really fantastic products. So I got this in a mystery pack, and I was like, what am I gonna do with this? So I thought, okay, maybe a bee project. So I found this cute little thing, and it was just a little like 5-yard skein, so it couldn't be very big. So I did that. And then what do you do on this, right? Or what fabric color do you do this on? I mean, I guess I could have done a neutral, maybe a blue, but I decided to jump way out there, and I decided to do it on this Beetroot from Fox and Rabbit, which is such a gorgeous fabric. I love this so much. So I thought, you know what? It's fun. It's just a fun quick stitch. I'm like, yep, let's try it. So I started and finished this. So here is, oh, it's upside down, sorry. Here is Queen Bee by Frog Cottage Designs with the Live and Dye LA floss. So it's cute, just a fun, cute little stitch. It only took me a few hours. And let me tell you, I needed a few hours because our flight. So we were waiting, and they came over the speaker and said, oh, so the flight that you guys are scheduled to leave on, the plane that you're scheduled to leave on, just came in, and they hit a bird while coming to Salt Lake. And so we've got to have our repair guys look at it and get it fixed. We're not sure how long it's going to be. So they gave us like a, let's see, our flight was supposed to leave at 11:30, and they gave us a noon time to board. Well, that came and went, and they said, okay, we're looking at 1 o'clock. So we waited till 1 o'clock, and they said, okay, we're waiting till 1:30 now. So, but about 10 after 1, they were like, okay, we're ready, let's start boarding. So we board. Okay, great. So then we're sitting there, and we go out, we taxi out, right? And then we sit, and we sit, and we sit. Okay, so for me, I didn't really have any concept of time. Do you guys lose concept of time when you're stitching, right? You just kind of lose track of time, and you're like, oh, it's only been 20 minutes, half an hour, and it's been like 2 hours. Can anybody relate to that? That's me all the time. So I was just stitching away, having a great time, right, on the plane. So we're sitting, and then they say, well, we are unbalanced on our weight, and we're overweight. So they're gonna try and fix it. So they try and fix it. Then they said, nope, we're overweight, so we need to have some people get off. So we're gonna taxi back to the gate, and we'll let you know. So we taxied back to the gate, and then they said, so we are so sorry to tell you this, But there is a storm rolling in, and there has been lightning strikes. And when that happens, for safety reasons, they cannot pull the ramp out to connect it to the plane. So we have to sit here. So we sat there for another hour. So then they were finally able to get the gate out, the tunnel out, and connect it. And we had a few people get off, so then we're waiting. So then they said, well, we're really sorry to tell you this, but we're running into time problems with our crew. And so we're trying to see if we can get another crew here. So by this time, people are starting to get frustrated. Overall, everyone was really good. And we had some little kids on the plane, and they were handling it so well, because it's been about 4 hours by this point. So we're all just sitting there waiting to see, we've got a crew on the way. We'll get here and we'll get going. Well, then they said, okay, now we're running into pilot issues with their time limits. So they said, so we're working on getting new pilots here, but we also have to get everyone off, and then we'll have you reboard. So at that point, my husband had been looking at the other flights that were flying out to Florida, to Orlando at that point, and he was able to find one. And so we hopped off the plane and we ran down to that gate. They said, there is this other flight, you can go down and try and get on. So we were able to get on that flight, and we're able to catch it to Florida. We were 4 hours, about 5 hours later than we were supposed to get there. And then it turned out that our luggage, because we did have one piece of checked baggage, that one stayed on the plane. They didn't transfer it, which was fine, because that plane, our original flight, did end up leaving. It was about a half hour behind us, but we did have to wait for that luggage. And so it was like 2 a.m. by the time we got to our hotel. And so we were tired, and it was a long day, but I got lots of stitching done on the flight, right? So my queen bee. Okay, so here's the other thing that I started. I started How Doth the Little Busy Bee from Modern Folk Embroidery. I started this, and I did all of this while I was on the plane there as well. And so here it is. So I am using, this is Cyprus from, I think it's Fiber on a Whim. And then this floss is so pretty. This was in a box that I got from BeStitch Me, one of her special boxes. It was the flower box from this spring. And this is Sunflower. It's so pretty. And I am obsessed with how it's looking. Isn't that so beautiful? Oh, I love it. So I would say I'm about, well, maybe a hair over halfway done with just the regular picture part of it. Obviously not the border, but I really just have these couple of flowers to do. I know that glare, you guys, I'm sorry. And then the bee, and then these little itty bitty things, and then the border. So honestly, I could probably bust this out in a few days, but I have some really fun plans for September that I will tell you about. So this is getting put away. All right, then I had one other new start, and this was a totally impulsive new start. So I was watching Antique Needleworkers, Liz and Shelly. If you don't watch them, go watch them. They are fantastic. Just have such beautiful projects, and they are just both such kind, beautiful people. They just are wonderful. So Shelly had gotten a kit from the Wishing Thorn, and it was with, stitched with wool. And so she was talking about how wonderful it was that the wool, you only used one strand, and she was stitching it on 28 count, and just the coverage was beautiful and the tactile experience. And I was like, oh, I really want to try that. I used to stitch on 28, 32 all the time, and then I tried 36 and it was okay, and then I tried 40. 40 is my sweet spot. I love 40. But I was, because one strand, if you know, right? One strand is amazing. So I thought, well, if I only have to stitch with one strand of wool on 28 count, I have a few pieces of 28 count, so I think that would be really fun, and I want to try it. So I started doing some research. I looked at the wools. Shelly was using a Veriswa wool, so I looked at those. And then I researched, and I found out that you can use number 8 pearl cotton, And then I found out that water lilies, if you know Karen water lilies, they are a silk, is it 12-stranded silk, I think. They have a sister thread called Wildflowers that have pretty much the same colors, but it's a thicker thread. And so I got some. So this is Black Forest. It is a mixture of like browns and grays, and those grays, you can kind of see it looks blue. It's really not that blue, but you can see some of the browns in there, and then kind of the blue tinged grays. Anyway, so beautiful. So I decided to try it. The pattern I am using is from Quaker Sampler Delight. Now that is a seller on Etsy, and she has a bunch of Quaker patterns, and you guys should know I love my Quakers. And I found this one and bought it, but her patterns don't have a name. So I will link to this below. It's kind of like a Virlandi sampler, which I really like. So I started in the middle with this motif, and I'm not quite done yet, but I really love how it's turning out. The coverage is fantastic. It is a little bit more tactile. Now again, this is not the wool. This is the Wildflowers, but it is a little bit thicker, and so there is a tactileness to it that is really fun. This fabric is, I think it's a 32 count, called Blank Check from Live and Dye LA, which is such a gorgeous neutral. It's really, really pretty. So I wish you could see, you can kind of see the variegation. So you can see how this is a little more gray, this is a little more brown and more gray. These are gray, gray, brown, gray. It's just really, really pretty. So this has been a lot of fun to do. So I've since kitted up a few other things with like some pearl cotton that I just got at like Michael's. And so this is really, really fun. So I'm just loving experimenting with different fibers now. And so I think I'm gonna order some more fibers from various brands and try them, because it's just so fun to experiment. So there we go. Okay, then I have a whip. This is what I worked on while we were at the parks and on the way home from Florida. And this is Pretty Little Amsterdam. Here's what it looks like. And here is my progress. So I was able to finish some of this over here, and I got this tower done, and then I came over, did the sun and the clouds, and started on the windmill. So this is just such a fun, bright stitch. It just makes me happy because the colors are just so happy. So that's Pretty Little Amsterdam. Okay, and then you guys, I have a big finish. And it's not just a big finish, it is a huge finish. Huge finish. I made a goal to finish this in August, and I met it, so I was so happy. So I finished Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. I've got it back up because it's massive. It's on a fat half. I did it on 36 count Winter's Brew by R&R with the called 4 fibers. Okay, are we ready? Here we go. Look. Okay, got it back up so you can see the whole thing. It's so big. So there it is. And now let me show you up close. So I started this back last spring, 2022. And I worked on it really, really heavy for a month or two, and then kind of got distracted by some other projects. And then, okay, let me adjust. It's just so big. Okay. And then came back to it and worked on this and the house. And then I did a tiny bit for my mania. Then I came in and finished pretty much, let's see, from here and then up to about here. So right here. So all this is about what I did this month. Oh, it's so pretty. Let me hold it back again, you guys. So there it is. Consider the lilies. That is a huge finish. Now I've got to decide if I'm going to start His Eye is on the Sparrow. I do have it. It is, I don't think I have it all kitted up. I have some fabric for it. I don't think I have the fibers. I haven't looked at the fiber list to see if I can use any of these, but anyways, oh, I love this flower motif right here. And I love this house too. The house was so fun to do. And this little berry tree, the peacock. Oh, there's just so many fun motifs. Look at the little fox. Isn't he so cute? Anyways, so that is really, really big. Big finish. I'm super happy. Okay, I have a previous finish to show you. This, I can't even tell you how long ago I finished this one. It's been probably at least 15 years, at least. This is the first Mirabilia that I ever finished. It is on a mystery fabric. I think it's probably Jobelan because it's really soft. I'm sure it was by Silk Weaver because back then I was in the Silk Weaver Fabric of the Month Club, and so I have a bunch of Silk Weaver fabrics, but it is Fairy Idol. Okay, again, this is another really big one. I've got to back up and then I'll bring it forward to show you details. I realized that I haven't shown you guys previous finishes for a long time. So, I mean, look at that. The chandelier, and look at her with that dove. All right, got to adjust. And that dress, that was a lot of yellow, but I love these little topiaries. And there is, oh, right there, you can tell there's some gold blending filament, Kreinik, that is just so pretty. And then there's this rabbit over here. And then the beads. There's quite a few beads on here, not a ton, I think. Can you see the chandelier? The chandelier has quite a few beads. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see that. Anyways, so as you can see, she barely fit. This was my first, and I did check it, and obviously she fit, but I only have like 1-inch margins, maybe not even quite that. But the fabric is a super, super pale mint green. Anyways, it's just really, really pretty. So that is a previous finish that I wanted to show you. Okay, let me show you treasures now. All right, this is the one everyone's talking about. I bit as well. Saga from Long Dog Samplers. Just all of those windows with all the animals are so fun. So I bought the PDF. I like paper copies, especially working copies. So I printed it out. And I ordered some silks that I am hoping to do it in, so we'll see how those come out. But there we go. If you haven't seen this, go check it out. It's really, really fun. And I have plans for this month. I'll tell you about in just a minute. Okay, then I have some of my fabric of the months. Okay, so I got BeStitch Me. I got 2 fabrics. The first one is a 40 count Verdal, and it is called Lunar. This super gorgeous blue. It's just super light, has a hint of gray, gorgeous modeling. I mean, really, that's not terrible. Not a terrible representation. Right here, this upper corner. Sorry, my light is really funny. Okay, and then, so that was the neutral. Then I also get the color one in a 28 count Lugana, and that is called Luna Moth. And so it is like a green, which is really pretty. Let's see. Oh, if I, here. So yeah, that's not bad. Anyways, it's really pretty. Then I got my Baiju Designs fabric. This is Old Gold. I get 40 count linen, and that's looking way washed out. Let's try the, no, kind of, oh, there we go. It's just this really warm, lovely gold. And of course, the gift thread and the pattern that she includes. Okay, then I got Crafty Grimalkin. I get a 40 count linen from her, and this is from Atomic Ranch Fabrics. I get it through Crafty Grimalkin, and this is Pampas Reed. So it is just a really light, very neutrally fabric that would be great for so many patterns. It's night, and so I had to do different lighting, so I'm trying to learn. So I'm sorry that it's different. In some ways I'm like, it's better than when I film in the morning, but other ways I'm like, oh, maybe not. That's looking a little more gold. It's just a really light, pretty. And then I got my Fiberlicious, and this one is called Dimas, the Setting Sun. I get a 28 opalescent Lugana, and this one is beautiful, beautiful. Yep, that's pretty good right there. Purple with these little spots of color of pink and yellowy orange, and so pretty. So pretty. And a little bit of green, anyways. So gorgeous. So those are my treasures. Okay, so plans. Now, these plans are going to be for the whole month of September, because I am doing what I'm calling September Startitis, because it's my birthday month and I can start what I want to, right? That's my theory. So I am going to start, technically I'm going to start 11 projects, okay? One of them I'm going to work on every day, and I'll show you why and how. And then I'm going to start a new project and work on it for 3 days, and then rotate to a new one. So let me share those with you. So the first one I am going to do is GGR, the letter E. So you can see it's just all these little E's. I love it. E for Emmy, hello, right? Okay, I am going to do this on Mayflower, no, not Mayflower, Flannel Flower by Fox and Rabbit. And then I am going to use a Silks for You. It is PR052. It's kind of a blue, kind of a dusty, variegated blue. I am super excited for this. So my plan is to stitch an E a day. So I will just start, maybe I'll start in the middle, we'll see. And I'll just stitch one a day. So hopefully by the end of September, I will have 30 of these E's stitched. Now, I haven't counted them, but it looks like there's a whole lot more than 30, but that's fine. Maybe, depending on how it goes, I can continue until it's done. But isn't that so fun? Like, you know, some of them won't take very long. A lot of them won't take very long. So that is my everyday project, to stitch an E. All right, then, okay, I've been wanting to start this one for a very long time. September 1st is the day. I'm biting the bullet. All right, sorry, the noise. I'm trying to get my fabric and fibers out. Okay, pandemic. I am going to start it. I think I'm going to start down in this corner just because I want to switch it up. You know, a lot of people start in the top left corner, and I just want to be different. So I'm going to start down here. And I am going to use Coonsnite by Fabric on a Whim, which is a really light purple. Kind of right there. And then I'm going to use another Silks for You. This is PR069. It is a navy. So I'm going to do navy on the purple. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this, y'all. This is going to be amazing. So that is number 1, technically, one of my 10 that I'm doing the 3 days on, because the other one I'm doing every day. Okay, the next one I'm going to do is, okay, this is Modern Folk Embroidery, the Zimmerman coverlet. on Instagram, Creative Raquel, if you follow her, she just finished this and it is stunning. So beautiful. Brenda from Handwork Maniac is doing this with a variegated blue floss, just DMC variegated. It is beautiful. And then Jane from Stitching with Jane and Julie is doing the same as Brenda with a variegated blue. And she's got just a little bit done. So it's beautiful. I love it. And I love the blues, but I wanted to do something different. So I am using this. This is Huntress by, who is it by? I can't think. Is it Fiber on a Whim? Or is it PTP? I don't remember. Anyways, Huntress, you can get it on 1-2-3 Stitch. Can you handle how deep and rich this is? I mean, that's pretty good representation. It is stunning. And then for my silk, more silks for you. I'm going to use, I haven't gotten it on a floss drop yet, but I'm going to use white. My heart like palpitates when I look at this and think about it. It is going to be so beautiful. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So there's number 2. All right, number 3 is the Twilight Woods Sampler. This is from the Wishing Thorn, and it is kind of a samplery style, but it has beads with it. So I have beads. I don't have my fabric here with me, but I'm going to use 40 Count Tin Roof by Weeks, and then the Called For threads, which are just DMCs. So I'm really excited. When I pulled the DMCs, they're like tans and pinks. And so I am really excited for this. Okay. The next one I am going to do is a Nora Corbett. And it is, what is it called? Jade Blue. Jade Blue, one of her little pixies. I love the like 20s flapper feel of this. And so I'm going to do this one. I am going to do it on Fiberlicious Plum Blossom. It's 28 count opalescent, this purple. And I don't know if, I've got to pull out, I've got to get the Krynic for like her wings. But if it doesn't look, if it doesn't show up, then I'll change it to something else. I'm not too worried because I'll stitch the wings last. But I'm so excited for that. Okay, then I decided I wanted to do a French sampler, and one of the best French sampler designers or reproduction is Reflet des Soies. So this is Agnès Couvert, 1896. Like the border is just stunning, and all of these motifs. And here are the colors. I'm using DMC with a couple of NPIs. And then I am using Finn's Fence, which is a Seraphim. So it's kind of a blue toned light gray. I think it'll be pretty. All right, then the Disney and me needed to do a little bit of Disney. And so I am doing this Electrical Light Parade mandala. It's so fun because you use beads to act as the lights, and so they really just light up. Brenda from Handwork Maniac is also doing this one. I think she's got this turtle done. I don't know if she has it beaded or not, but so I am going to do it on a black Jobelin, and there's all my DMCs. It's massive, but look at those colors. Like parts of it are stitched, and then you accent with the beads, and so it just lights up. It's going to be beautiful. Okay, then I am going to do the Tropical Quaker Sampler. This is from the Gift of Stitching magazine. You can get the whole run of this for like 35 bucks or something, and there are some really great patterns. It calls for Vicky Clayton silks, and so I've got those. It's hard to show those. I need to get them on floss drops, but the colors are really, really pretty. And then the fabric I'm doing it on is, let's see. Oh, here we go. Dirty Clothes from Beetroot Designs. Okay, my next one is Edith E. Nunn, 1884, from Quaint Rose Needle Arts. She is sells on Etsy, but she actually just debuted at the Marketplace that just happened last weekend, so that's super exciting for her. She's got some beautiful charts. I love those purple birds and that beautiful basket in the middle. So I am going to do this on, I'm going to try. This is a super dark green fabric. It's a 25 count, so I'm going to try it over one. I've discovered I don't love over one stitching. So we'll see how this works. If I don't love it, then I'll set it aside and I will find some different fabric because I definitely want to do it. But the colors are so pretty, like that blue and the purples and those golds and the green. Look at the green on the green. Isn't that going to be stunning? So I'm super excited for that. So I think that's number 8. Okay. Number 9. Oh, I'm excited for this one too. All of them. Okay, this is the Beatrix Potter Sampler from Stitchy Box. Oh, I know a lot of other floss tubers are doing this one, so I'm jumping on the bandwagon this time. I am doing it on Saltbush from Fox and Rabbit. Oh, that's pretty good. And I am going to use Threadworks. I don't remember the name of this, but the number is, what is the number? 1041. If you go to 123 Stitch and type in 1041, it'll pop right up. I really am loving Threadworks fibers. So they are just a 6-stranded cotton, but they come in, I think, is it 5 yards and then 20 yards. And 20 yards is like $4.59 or something like that. So it is super affordable. But look at the purpley gray. I am really, really into like dusty purples lately. I've been kitting so much stuff up with dusty purples. It's kind of almost ridiculous. But that is what I'm going to do the Beatrix Potter Sampler with. All right, and then my last one is Saga from Long Dog Samplers. The fabric I'm going to use is called My Little Dove. It is from Beetroot Designs. It is a gray. It's showing a little lighter. There we go, about like that. My silks I ordered from Silks for You. They're still coming. It is like a blue and purple silk that's overdyed with black. So it's super dark. So it's going to, because I do love the black look of this, but I wanted a little bit of variety. So like just a little bit different. So I'm using this gray, and then I think the overdyed blue purple silk is going to be fantastic. This one, I decided I'm going to start over here with that little donkey horse and the dog, the greyhound, and the seahorse. Can you see these? And the tower, the castle. Oh, it's so pretty. So, all right, those are my plans for September. I am going to try and post regularly. I don't know if I will post every day to show you my progress, but I will try and post at least every 3 days with my new starts. So follow me on Instagram. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe this Flosstube channel. I just really love and appreciate all of your support. With my 1 year little anniversary, I decided I wanted to add a new little element. And so that is going to be called Love List, things that I love that I think that you might love too. So the first one I want to share is a podcast. Do any of you love, obsessed with Gilmore Girls? I love Gilmore Girls. Just the dialogue is so witty and quick fire, and the writing is just beautiful, and the characters and their development are just fantastic. If you haven't watched Gilmore Girls, give it a try. You might like it. I really love it. I remember watching it years ago when my girls were little, and my girls would be like, "Mom, are you watching Gilmore Girls again?" So funny. And guess what? Now they love Gilmore Girls because they're old and can understand and appreciate. So anyway, so I just found a podcast done by Scott Patterson, who played Luke on Gilmore Girls, and it is called I'm All In, and he and a couple of little co-hosts go through and kind of evaluate each episode, and they talk to other actors who were on this show. I'm not very far in. I think I'm on episode like 7-ish or so. But they've had Sean Gunn, who played Kirk. They've had, the lady that played Babette. Why is her name escaping me? Dang it. And the guy who played her husband, Maury. And they had their dialogue coach on. And they had the woman who played Gypsy. Her name is Rose. Can't remember her last name. Anyways, so it has just been so fun to relive those episodes and hear his perspective and the other actors' perspectives on what they remember and some of their favorite moments. It's been really fun to listen to. I love podcasts, so I'll probably share several of those. And while I do all of my DIY stuff, I listen to podcasts a lot, and so I'm really in that realm right now. So give it a try. I'm All In. You can find it on any of the podcast channels. I use Apple Podcasts, and so you can find it there. That's all I have to share with you today. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you're getting the stitching in that you want, and that the frogs are not coming to visit you too much. The frogs have been distant for me for a while. I better knock on some wood because I'm hoping that they still will. I would hate to start something and have to rip it all out. So anyways, until next time, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to stitch. Bye, everyone.